And I remember riding my bike and I was thinking, I wonder if this can get any worse. And the next thing I knew, this foot just flew past my head. And apparently some guy driving past me stuck his foot out the window, his whole leg. And I don't know if he was trying to kick me in the head as he went by or something, but that's what it seemed like. Not sure if he thought that through though, because I would probably hurt him pretty bad as well. I don't think I ever went in a house that had a basement in Australia. The houses seem really, really expensive. There'd be a house very average size, but because of the location or because of it being in Sydney, it would be close to $1 million or even over $1 million. The roads in Sydney are really interesting. I felt like I was in traffic a lot. It seems like sometimes that they put the buildings in first and then realized, oh, we got to put roads in. So they just tossed them in on top. And so you've got all these different kinds of roads, and some of them are dead ends, some of them twist in interesting ways that I've never seen before. But it was definitely a learning experience. Not only do you drive on the wrong side of the road, wrong side of the car, but the roads are very narrow and they've got some interesting curves to them. Time for Thai restaurant. Thai food. It was the best restaurant of my life. It's really diverse and the food's the same way. In my first area, obviously I had to learn how to use chopsticks. So that was new. I'd never used them before in my life. My second area, there was a lot of islander food. They like to feed you a lot. So it's easy to gain weight in an area like that. I remember eating jellyfish tentacles once. That was interesting. Kind of like chewing on rubber bands with flavor. That's what it felt like. They had an interesting sort of cake that was called pavlova. I've never seen anything like it before. If you were to make a cake out of cotton candy, in my opinion, it would be kind of like that. And they also have meat pies a lot. They have pies and they put meat inside of them, all different kinds. Really good. And if you ever get the chance to try a Tim Tam, their little chocolate biscuit that they have, those are the best things. So good. It was hard for you to get a response if you'd say, hey, how are you, in American accent, or how are you doing on the street, but if you'd say, hey, how you going? Or even how you going, mate, right? They would answer usually. One thing I noticed in Sydney was they're very laid back. You know, there's a lot of stressful things that we encounter in life, but one of the things that they would always like to say is, you know, it should be all right. Should be okay. And they just keep going and they just be relaxed about it. And they really like that about us, a person as well. If they can go in there and they can talk with them on the street in a relaxed way, like friend to friend. If you go up to them all tense, then they're kind of like, what's your deal? Just calm down. Life is about being calm. So that's something I admired about their culture. They just pretty much expect people to be courteous, generally speaking. I noticed driving in Australia, people were really, really fair on the roads. They want you to wave and say thank you, but they let you in when you need to get in. They let you out when you need to get out. Australia Day, that was a different holiday. Not used to having that. But they're very patriotic on that day. Sydney's a really unique and I think it's a really beautiful city, really nice. Their beaches are something that a lot of people really, really like. You'll see a lot of families that just immediately go straight to the beach right after work or school, and they'll stay there till the end of the day. And the next day they'll go to work and they'll do the same thing the next day. They love it. There's cool buildings, the Opera House. You get to see that on Finding Nemo and the fish pops up out of the water. That one's a cool one to walk by. Hyde Park in the city is a nice big park that they have there. Sydney's a pretty safe place. They are generally really nice people. I mean, the only person that ever tried to take anything from me, trying to rob me, and I didn't even know it. So I don't think that there's very much of a threat there as far as crime goes. Of course, you have some areas where it's worse, some areas where it's better. There's a lot of trains, a lot of buses, and there's a place called Coffs Harbour. It's very, very, very beautiful. Definitely have a lot of different phrases that they use that are hard to get used to. Instead of saying how you doing a lot, they go down the road and say how you going. Sometimes it throw you off a little bit. You're not sure what they're asking. They say heaps when they want to say a lot. So say I just had heaps of food today, so I'm full. They call the trunk of a car a boot. They call the hood a bonnet. Instead of windshield, it's windscreen. So there's just a few things like that you have to be aware of. There's some people that live out in the bush that have a little bit of a stronger accent. It's just more of a strong accent, I would say. A lot of the times for mealtime, they call it tea time, which is kind of random. We're not having tea or anything, but it's just kind of what they do. I'm just so grateful for everything that I learned with you, and I'm grateful for the people that you are. I have a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in all of you, and pray that we'll be able to continue to be good friends.